Welcome back to episode 3 of Worst Idea Ever. My name is Gabe.
I'm Thomas.
And we have some more exciting topics outlined for today's show.
Good things come in threes. And
yes.
This is the third.
Yes, this could be the third time's a charm, maybe. We'll see.
Yes. Hopefully this will be a good episode this time. Maybe.
Well, we're hoping we have video this time.
Yes.
It's looking pretty good.
We've acquired a reliable medium.
Yes, this is not a third-party camera source this time.
This is our stuff.
Yes.
Idea for one of the many first worst idea purchases.
Yes, one of the many. It broke the bank.
But hopefully we'll make it all back through sponsorships and advertisements.
Yes, ad revenue. We're really hoping, to make it.
We're on the way. We're on our way. Got to start small to get big.
Yeah, and we're also in a different setting. We're just trying to keep you on your toes, give you, something else to look at.
Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit. Keep it fresh.
Artwork.
Yes, the decorating in this room is, I don't know if it's Victorian or what it is, but it's, I don't know. I'm liking it. It's a little bit different, not as drab.
Yeah, we went from album covers to our fancy artwork.
Yes.
So
fancy artwork. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
All right. So this is a music podcast. We're gonna start off talking music, and then maybe we'll ramble our way into some other nonsense.
I'm sure we'll hit the nonsense we always usually seem to. So.
Yes. All right. So we're both music people. We both studied music business in college.
Yes.
I play guitar. I'm in a few bands. I'm in one band called Dry Campus, which is an indie alternative band. And then I'm also in a metal band called Open Casket Wedding. So I play guitar for both of those, mostly lead stuff. Dry Campus is... we recently recorded an album. We're going to try to have that album out by the end of the year, mixed and released, hopefully. I think we're feeling pretty confident. About 9 or 10 songs. And then Open Casket Wedding released an album in May of this year called Puppet with a Soul. So it's about 12 songs on that. So that's what I've been doing musically. And,
Solid. Very solid.
Yeah.
Puppet with a soul, not without a soul.
No.
Okay. All right. As for me, I played throughout school, I played guitar and piano, and I still mess around with bass a little bit, but I'm not I wouldn't perform, as a bassist. And then I haven't played piano or guitar in years, so I'm probably pretty bad. I was in choir in high school. It was cool. I enjoyed it. You ended up singing a lot of classical stuff though. That wasn't really my thing. And you did a lot of sight reading too, which is pretty hard to sight read when you're singing.
Oh yeah.
just kind of guessing.
Improv in there.
Yeah, get some improv in there.
Or jazz notes.
Oh no, it's not in the right key. It's just jazz.
Some chromatics in there, right?
Some chromatics.
Right.
And then, like Thomas said, we both went to school for music. And now I'm just managing starting out a country band. We are in Nashville, so you gotta get involved in country. We'll see. We're supposed to be releasing an album here soon, but plans do change. It is a fast-paced industry, so
that's true.
Who knows?
Music industry people are tough to gauge. They're either really on or really not on. A lot of saying stuff will happen, and then it doesn't happen.
Hey, big things coming. Keep a lookout.
Coming. Yeah, right. I know. Big things coming.
Hey, do you want to come listen to my band? We're playing a sold out show at Cafe Coco.
Yeah,
it's a cool venue, but whatever.
Sometimes it's hard to stay motivated as a musician. I've played really fun gigs with lots of people, way more than I was expecting, and then I've played gigs where the only people watching are the other bands. That's really tough just to get through. You don't even really want to play. But sometimes it's kind of fun. You can just, mess around on stage and you're more loose. So sometimes that's good, but it's usually bad. Yeah.
Well, I just kind of forgot how fun it was because we had our first show not last weekend. Maybe, maybe it was last weekend. I don't know, a week or two ago.
Where was that?
I was out near Chattanooga. But yeah, we had our first show and it was, I don't know. I just kind of forgot how it was to even though I wasn't performing, I kind of forgot how it was to I don't know, be a part of something bigger than yourself and just kind of go and do something or kind of either playing sports or having a performance. I kind of forgot how that felt. And you kind of get that adrenaline rush, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I forgot, how that felt. It was good to get reconnected with that feeling.
Nice.
Did
you guys play with other bands, or was it just you? You have an opener?
Yeah, we had an opener.
Nice.
I mean, it was only it was no one there because the venue changed last minute and it was raining outside and it was just a whole shit show. But it was good. It was fun. Hoping to someday do that for a career.
Yeah.
But we're still young, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. 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 Well, we've talked about music. When we went to school, we went to not really a party school, but it was a music school. I don't know. I think back, freshman, sophomore year, I would get mad that there weren't parties to go to, but I'm not really mad about that looking back because I didn't go to school to party, so for me to expect parties, I don't think is unreasonable, but I think the parties could have been better, but that's not really my scene anyway. I feel like if I don't know most of the people at the party, I'm not having as good of a time. I like to know everybody there and have maybe 15 people at the maximum.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, it's college. I mean, you got to party. I mean, it was all right. Sometimes I kind of wish I went to a big SEC school Vanderbilt is the closest one, but other than that, I don't know, Bama or Ole Miss or Arkansas or just something. I don't know if Arkansas. I guess Arkansas is SEC, right?
I'm not sure.
Blue Pigs. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we knew the right people, and once people started moving off campus too, people started having more parties.
Yeah. Sometimes I just like drinking in the dorms. Some with 5 people. Sometimes that was more fun than
sometimes.
Yeah. But it's you go to a party. We didn't find out about parties until 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want to start drinking because you just didn't want to just be drunk in your dorm,
Well, plus it wasn't easily accessible because we were underage and we
That's
had
right.
Well, I guess I had a fake. I didn't have a car though. There was always a catch.
Well, there was a gas station right by us that recently got demolished.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
built on.
It was known as Murder Mart.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the safest place in Nashville. Probably there's one homeless person there, and everyone called it Murder Mart. So dumb.
It really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I've been to places way worse since.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was tough. It's I had to ask you or other people if you could buy me alcohol, and I was just kind of felt juvenile. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean,
and you'd buy a 6-pack, or you'd buy 2 6-packs.
You'd buy a 24-pack cans.
Really?
Just cans, a 24-pack of Bud Light. Well, when it was still okay to drink that. But
yeah. Well, I was drinking those Smirnoffs back in the day, which is so stupid.
Screwdrivers.
So dumb, yeah. I should just drink whiskey, and then that was dumb, though.
Those will make you sick, too, because they're so sweet. It's like drinking sugar.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I had sometimes I'd have 5 or 6, and I'd wake up sick the next day, and then sometimes I'd have 10, and I'd wake up and I'd be fine. I guess it just depends if we hit cookout after. Which I was sick for a different reason.
Yeah, I had cookout.
Dude, I feel like we went to cookout almost every weekend,
We probably did.
Yeah.
I don't know how we afforded that because I can't even afford that now. Well, actually, I do know, but I'm not going to get into it.
It was cheap.
It was pretty cheap.
You get 5 nuggets for $1, and then a fries for $1, and then a shake. I don't know
Can't
if
forget that fancy shake.
the fancy shake.
Fancy shake's good. I just had a fancy shake. Oh, well, probably about a couple months ago now, but I was really craving one. And then, like, halfway through, I was just like, oh no. I could feel it percolating.
Yeah, milkshakes. I never really want to finish a milkshake. I feel like I always have half or even a third of it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good with this.
Just something to kind of satisfy the sweet tooth at the moment, you know,
Yeah.
like a temporary fix.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, but the cookout shakes are really thick.
Mm.
You couldn't even really, suck them through the straw. I remember my tongue would start hurting because it would just,
Yeah, you had to
It's too
get
thick.
you had to get the spoon.
yeah. Wendy's Frosty's good consistency.
I haven't had a Frosty in a long time.
The thing about the cookout shake was that it lasted a long time because it took so long to devour.
Or you can have that bad boy for a couple days, you know.
You put it in the fridge in the morning.
You get one Saturday night of that weekend, and you could finish it off the Friday before you went out.
A little base for alcohol.
Yeah, a little base. You got to build a base, but it can't be too much of a base.
Yeah.
Because if you're drinking too much, then, especially if you're drinking beer,
Yeah.
just too many carbs.
Yeah. Dude, I remember, freshman year. Freshman year that was a little rough sometimes because our school was pretty small, so there wasn't a lot of eating options on campus. And after 11, there's nothing open. And if you didn't have a car, good luck getting food, So I had to rely on my little mini fridge, and maybe I got some groceries. And you didn't even buy groceries because you didn't have the space to store them, and you were on the meal plan, so you weren't buying groceries.
And we didn't have a vehicle.
Yeah, no vehicle. And I remember just being like 12:30 at night, just starving because there's no food. It's like, I want to go out. Like you eat at 7, we eat dinner at 7, right?
Yeah.
12 o'clock, you're hungry again, right? Pretty much. Because I wasn't loading up at the calf. Because it wasn't wicked good. I mean, the calf wasn't bad. It wasn't wicked good, though, so I wasn't going to get a bunch of shit. And, yeah, I remember I'd go to bed starving, then I'd wake up and I'd feel terrible because I went to bed hungry. You wake up hungry, so you want to eat, but you don't want to eat,
Well, eating at the calf, too, is always risky. So, like, before, like, a big night out, it was good to take it light, just have a few things. I would go to that gas station across from campus and get some frozen meals.
Dude, I went there one time. I was like, yeah, everyone rips on gas station food.
Hey, no backpacks.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like I'm the one you got to watch out for. Yeah, students are the ones you got to watch out for. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
okay.
All right, yeah.
But,
no more about that.
Freshmen, sophomores aren't stealing stuff like that,
You know what, though? Honestly, I wasn't. You were. I knew or know some people who.
Really? See a little ham and Swiss? Throw it in the small pocket of the backpack? Yeah.
I mean, we know at least one person who would do that.
Really? Okay.
I know you know who I'm talking about.
I don't.
We don't have to talk about it right now.
We'll reconvene on this.
We'll reconvene. We'll get back. We're going to have a little, what do they call that in court?
Recess?
We're going to have a little recess and reconvene and come back and make sure we're on the same page.
Dude, I remember being in 5th grade and realizing that recess wasn't going to happen next year in 6th grade. I was like devastated. Because recess.
What was that? Was that the cutoff year?
For me, it was, yeah. Middle school started in 6th grade.
So you had no recess in 6th grade?
No.
We did.
Was that middle school for you?
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, I guess middle school started in 5th grade for me. And then went up to 8th grade. But yeah, that was odd.
I mean, recess was so fun. And you think it's a lot of time, 30 minutes is not a lot of time.
No, it's not.
The fact that we played capture the flag a lot. So the fact that we'd walk out there, that takes 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Set up a game, play it, walk back in 30 minutes. That's 20 minutes of recess, really.
Gone.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember it wasn't that bad actually because it just wasn't. You think it's going to be bad. You still had gym class, and so that was fun.
Yeah, I didn't. I remember. Nice.
Yeah.
Cut that out.
No, it's all right.
I remember. I remember like thinking about that briefly, and then when 7th grade came, we didn't have recess. I didn't even really notice. It wasn't a big deal for me.
Yeah. It was honestly like, all right, take what?
No, because then you had study hall, so you just go and mess around for an hour.
Yeah, that was fun.
You know, that was good.
I don't know. We couldn't even really. We had to whisper in study hall, which I thought was stupid.
I never got anything done in study hall.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It was never very productive. It was more like if you have friends in the study hall, then you hang out with them, or if you didn't, you go to a different study hall.
Yeah. Oh, you could choose?
Well, you could like sign out and leave.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember my senior year, I had a couple friends in one of my classes, and I would just go to study hall, you know, or it was I would go to their study hall. And we would just plan. Going back to the party thing.
Plan the weekend shenanigans.
Yeah, we would just plan how we were going to have a party, like if someone's parents were out of town, you know.
Nice.
Which, taking it back to that, those were some of the most fun I've had. Like my one friend.
High school stuff?
Yeah. Like my one friend, she threw a party, and it was like maybe like 20 to 30 of us. Like we had a big friend group, like we all went to prom together and stuff. It was just so much fun. Cause like, you know, like none of our parents like knew either, like, cause her parents were out of town or her whatever. Yeah. But it was just like, we all had to like do something, like someone had to get the booze. Someone had to like, you know, we like carpooled over. It was just fun, you know, cause it was like wrong too, you know, cause like everyone's like,
yeah, it makes it more fun.
Everyone's parents are like, you better not be drinking this weekend, you know. No, I'm not, you know. We all crashed over. It was a lot of fun. Those are some of the best parties. Yeah, like when you know everyone, and it was fun.
Well, I was thinking of, the parties we'd go to. Sometimes they were house parties or house shows. So we would go there, and there'd be a party on the main floor, and then usually downstairs there'd be a band playing. And
that was cool.
Usually I didn't like to listen to the bands. I wanted to stay upstairs and talk. But that was always fun. You know, sometimes you go down for a little bit, check out the scene, and then go back up and talk to people. And then I remember when we were freshmen, sophomores, we were freshmen, you fell for it, but you'd be hanging out at the party, it'd be around midnight, and then you hear, the cops are here! Everyone get out, the cops! And sometimes there would be. The first few times I think someone said the cops were here, the cops were actually here.
Yeah.
You see the blue lights, and you just book it. Which is dumb because they're not going to do anything. Like you told me, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to tell you to, and I've never seen them arrest anybody. They're just going to tell you to disperse. And so I thought that was funny, how everyone freaks out. And then that usually got rid of half of the people at the party, and then it kind of calmed everything down. And so that the party could keep going. That was more of a sophomore thing, you realize. Yeah,
like the sophomores who usually threw the party when you were a freshman would be like, the cops are here. I just saw an Instagram video on this the other day. The cops are here. There's always be this short dude too.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up because that's absolutely. There was one guy.
Yeah, always
one guy at like every party. The first time we saw him,
and he was like 30. Well, he wasn't. He looked like he was 30.
Yeah, but yeah, we were at a party once, and he's just like, all of a sudden he's like, everyone, get the fuck out, get out now. And I was like, okay, this is his house. He lives here, and I was like, okay, cool. Then the next week, next week he's doing the same thing. Get out, get out. If you can hear me, get out. And
if I don't know you, get the fuck out.
They said that
get
all the
out,
time.
Get out of my house.
If I don't know you, get out.
And between that, people yelling cops. As a freshman, you're like, oh my god, you know, you're like, it's too much for a freshman to process. And then by the time sophomore year came, people were like, fuck this guy. You know, like, I don't know him. You know, he's not going to do anything.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish I don't like when people say, oh, if I was in that situation, I would have done this. You know what I mean? But I wish I could like go back and just be like, yeah, what?
But it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But it was just stupid.
Like, he was always pretty cool because sometimes like I think he said to us, he'd be like, you guys got to get out. And then he'd be like, you guys don't have to leave. It's cool. But then he'd continue yelling. I think he said that a few times.
I actually
a few people.
I knew him, or I didn't know him. I ended up meeting him through another friend of mine. Later on, we were already out of that stage, and he wasn't too bad, honestly. But yeah, I feel like there was always a guy like that at whatever school you went to.
Yeah.
At least that's what other people have said.
I saw an Instagram video about the same thing, and that made me think of it. But I remember, dude, it was so hard to party back in the day because, it was hard to find out about a party. You'd hit everyone up, be like, anything going on?
Is there anything?
It'd be like, yeah, there might be something tonight? Going on. You check the Snap map, see if there's a congregation.
It was always really fun, though. Like, because we'd all meet up beforehand, like freshman year, and like start doing a little pregame, and and then we'd all go out, and it was usually pretty fun.
But sometimes, like, you'd get there and it'd be 10 o'clock, and they wouldn't let you in, and that was just like punch in the gut. I remember one time. Well, I remember seeing people like climb over fences, or you'd show up and it'd be like, "Yeah, it's $10." I'm not paying $10.
Oh, me and you climbed a few times. I wasn't paying $10 to go to like some sweaty basement.
I know.
And it was pitch black, and people were like, like dropping acid like on the. There's laying on the floor. Yes, it's like a toilet.
Random toilet in some shitty basement.
There's just broken glass and puke on the floor. Oh I'm not paying $10 for this. I don't have a job. I'm a freshman.
I already paid $10-15 to Uber here.
Yeah, to Uber there, and then
try to catch an Uber with someone else. Hey, you guys Ubering?
You guys want a pool? Yeah, man.
No. People always did this thing that you could Venmo them, and then you'd cancel it like 5 seconds after. Yeah, I Venmo'd you. Cancel.
Did they fix that? I think they did.
Yeah, maybe. I never did that, but I know people who did, and it was hilarious. You know what I thought about the other day? Or today? Was, we were at a party. This is early freshman year, like the first 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah, anyway.
Maybe the first... This is like one of the first parties you and me ever went to. It was, yeah, it was... There, we were in the living room area, and there was a DJ...
Yeah,
I know. And then all of a sudden, I forget if the music stopped or something, but some girl just goes, "Oh my gosh, help!" And then everyone's like, "What?" And then someone goes, "The DJ got electrocuted." Remember that? And then you and me just
started laughing,
started bursting out laughing because that's so stupid. Like, how does that even happen? Someone was like, "Oh, I think there was beer on the floor, dude. There's beer all over this floor.
Everywhere.
I'm sticking to the floor. There's so much beer." And he probably didn't get electrocuted. He probably passed out, from dropping acid or drinking.
And then you know what happened after they said that? The cops are coming, get out,
No. Someone was like, call an ambulance, right? Someone said call an ambulance, and then no one knows what to do. And then you reminded me of this. My roommate goes, what does he go?
His roommate, he's like, it's all right, I know first aid or something.
Yeah.
I know CPR. He runs up.
And then he just sat next to him. He didn't even do anything.
Well, if he really didn't get electrocuted, you probably shouldn't touch him because he's going to get electrocuted as well. But it was just like, come on, dude.
It was so dumb. It was so stupid. It was like the, when the record stops, it's like, and everyone's like, oh,
everyone's like, boo,
Middle of Mo Bamba.
Yeah, and he got electrocuted. Me and you just started dying.
Because that's so ridiculous. Like, it's so stupid. That is so dumb. There's no way he got electrocuted. And if he did, no. It's so dumb.
It sounds bad saying it, but if you were there, you'd really be laughing.
He was not an issue. And then everyone's just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
And then we walked back to campus.
That was early in, too.
That was really early.
I think we showed up to the party early, too.
Ooh.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. No.
Or was that a different
Space
one?
House, are you talking about?
Yeah, Space House.
No,
Space House.
That was sophomore year, I thought. Or was that
No, I was freshman year.
Freshman year. I remember, we showed up to a party once, and we... I don't know how we knew. Like, yeah, we heard there was a party there, and the girls were like, Yeah, but it hasn't started yet. But you guys can just like sit in the living room if you want. We just sat there.
We were like freshmen. These girls were like what, seniors or juniors?
Yeah, something like that. I would have been like, dude, go away. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I don't know, but they were nice. It was reinforcing as a freshman. You're like, all right, we found a solid.
Yeah, it was nice.
Solid spot.
I wouldn't have been that nice.
I mean, we had a couple nights. Every night we had there was rough. You remember the last night we had there, or I had there? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I remember.
We don't need to go.
It was raining really hard.
I think it was that night. Yeah.
Last night we let the liquor talk.
I can't remember anything. Good stuff.
Oh, baby. Whiskey glasses. Oh, damn, you pour me. Pour me another drink.
Wasted on you. All of this time and all this money.
What else does he have?
A leading Broadway girls love. Yeah. He's great.
Well, we're here. Yeah. What'd you say?
What was that? What is that? We told that joke last time. You know, you
So that's every music video like that.
What is that?
What is that? What is that?
What is that?
Oh, it's something I wrote last night.
What the hell is that? No, it's good. It's good.
No, it's not. All right.
It's getting a little goofy. All right, off the rails.
Yeah. Let's pivot back to music, and then we'll continue with the tomfoolery.
Pivot.
Pinky.
Did you ever watch Friends?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. Pivot.
So one of my musical goals for this year is a little ambitious. I'm not sure I'm going to reach it, but it was to have 50 songs out that I'm on.
Damn.
Right now I'm at.
That's a lot.
Right now I'm at 25, and I don't think I'm going to hit 50. 25, I have Open Casket stuff, Dry Campus stuff, my solo stuff, and then one song with another band. So that's 25. I think I might get to 40 or 45, but I'm not sure I'm going to reach 50. But I think...
I mean, we're already... It's getting late in the year.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't think... I think I might hit 40, because I was going to... That Dry Campus album, and I'm going to try to have an EP out by the end of the year, or like a 6-song album of my own. So maybe I'll get 40.
All right.
Yeah, but I don't think that's bad. But the reason I want to do this, like, I've known people who have been musicians for 30 years, 30, 40 years, and they have nothing out.
Oh, let me check out some of your stuff. Oh, I'm actually kind of working on that now.
Yeah.
It's still a work in progress. Okay.
It's like,
yeah, all right, sure.
At first, I was like, okay, well, you're just not taking it seriously. But then I realized, well, it's a lot easier for us to record and release stuff than it was for people back then. Mm-hmm. But still, like, you know, you can post on YouTube. Like, I just don't want to be one of those people who says they're a musician and then doesn't have anything to reference, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, there aren't as many gatekeepers as there were back then. Like, I mean, you can record stuff on your, just download some.
You could do GarageBand, record on your phone and release it. Like,
if you're a schmuck, on GarageBand.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's how easy. Like, if you didn't have anything out and that was your last resort, yeah, it's better than having nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so easy with technology. Everything's so accessible, and I mean, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but you can still put stuff out. Yeah. Like, for example, this podcast. People were not podcasting 30 years ago because they did not have the means. Now everyone's got a podcast.
Yeah.
And they just talk about the same things.
Yeah, right.
But no, I mean, it's pretty cool. But at the same time, there's just so much saturation in the market for music.
Yeah, the fact that anyone can release music, basically.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about just like our digital generation is like, You know, everyone's a musician. Everyone's got a podcast. Everyone's an influencer. You know, everyone like thinks there's something, and no one really actually cares. You know, I mean,
well, we went to a music school, and we knew so many people, and myself included, who said, "Hey, I got a single coming out. Check it out." You know, that's common for us. But like every other person in our school was saying that. But
yeah, we went to a few. Nice.
Yeah, it's still kind of.
We went to a few release parties.
Oh yeah,
those were fun.
Yeah, I mean, every other person in our school was saying, "Oh yeah, check out my single." But I think about my high school. It's a little earlier in your life, so it's a little different. But that was not common. You know, if you go to any other school, that's not common. So I think sometimes we take that for granted.
Well, because like I remember like. You know, in high school, whatever, there'd always be like, there's always the question like, oh, what's a fun fact about yourself? And it'd be like, oh, I'm interested in music, or it'd be something music related, you know. And back home, everyone would be like, that's so cool.
I got a single coming out. That's really cool.
Yeah. And like down here, I mean, no one cares, but, and you're like, oh, well.
You kind of roll your eyes when people say it.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I don't really care. But yeah, we do take that for granted because, I mean, it is Music City. So
Music City. Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah. No, I was thinking about trying to stay on the topic of music, music theory. I know a lot of people who don't like music theory, like they don't dislike it, but they don't think they need to learn it. And I just think that's dumb. It's like, well, you're into music. Why would you not want to learn music theory? Because you have a greater understanding of music. So if you say you're into music and don't want to learn music theory, that doesn't make any sense. You're choosing to learn less of what you love.
But I mean, that does kind of go back to like, I don't know, kind of like how serious you want to take it, you know?
Yeah.
Because like if it's back home, whatever. There's nothing really going on.
Yeah. But I mean, I know people here in Nashville that say, oh, I don't really need to know. But yeah, you don't need to, but it's going to help you a lot. You know?
Yeah.
It's going to help. It's helped me a lot.
I mean, I did learn a little bit in school.
It's also fun.
I thought it was kind of hard. I didn't really enjoy it. And like, I'm a singer.
It's a little different.
There's only so much I can do. I just need to be able to find a key and stay in it. Yeah. And find those, 8 notes I can hit,
Yeah, right, yeah.
In a certain key. So it wasn't like, it didn't really pertain to me.
Yeah. Well, sometimes
or like drummers, really, it doesn't really pertain to them either.
But sometimes, like, I'll be like, oh, can you play this major 7 chord? And they'll be like, what? It's like, if you don't know how to play a 7 chord, that's not good. You know what I mean? Like, why would you not want to learn that?
I mean, I don't know, maybe some people just don't take it that seriously. They just want to have fun and enjoy playing music,
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, some people are into that. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I hate studying for anything.
It's not even studying. It's just like you want to know it. But I get what you're saying, too. Maybe I'm taking that too personally.
Like, for me, like, one of my things is I, like, nerd out on cars.
Okay, yeah.
And, like, how, like, like, how, like, the engines work and, like, the forced induction, whether it's, like, a turbocharger or a supercharger. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to use that information in my life, but it just interests me. Yeah. And most people are like, well, it's stupid. Well, I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's probably the same thing with music theory for you.
Yeah.
Something to kind of, keep you, I don't know, mentally occupied.
Yeah.
Mentally invested.
Well, it's like I'm a guitar player, and there's some things I feel I just should know. I've been playing for a certain amount of time. Oh, I think I should be able to do this. Mm-hmm. But it just makes guitar playing more fun. The better you get at something, I think, the more fun it is. The better I get at guitar, the more fun it is to play guitar. And I think that's the case with a lot of things.
That's fair.
Because you understand, like, the more you understand it, Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that with football. Like, if you don't understand football, it's not going to be fun to watch. If you don't know what a first down is, football is not going to be fun.
Yeah, but you have to learn.
Well, yeah.
Isn't it weird how that's, like, ingrained in you? Because, like, I never, like, think back to, like...
I didn't really learn what a first down was until like sixth grade.
Yesterday.
Like no, sixth, seventh grade. Like I didn't watch football at all until middle school. Really, I didn't really start watching football until maybe high school.
I don't think I really got into any sports till like middle school.
Yeah,
because I wasn't really into it because I wasn't really seriously playing anything.
yeah.
You know,
You also don't sit down. Like I don't know any middle schooler who sits down. I don't know any middle
For
schoolers
more than, like,
anyways,
15
but yeah,
minutes.
no middle schooler is sitting down for 3 hours to watch a football game.
no, there's no way.
Even now, I'm kind of like, okay, this game's kind of slow. You know,
I like it. I mean, for me,
it's good if you have a bunch of buddies, but if you're just chilling by yourself, it's kind of like
I do watch. You know, I do enjoy watching the game, and building a little parlay, which never hit, by the way. Just not. Just doesn't happen. It's just a good excuse to get a bunch of friends together and just bullshit and drink. That's pretty much all it is.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Or like the Super Bowl is always a big event. That's always pretty fun.
Yeah, Super Bowl's good. Even if you don't care who's playing, it's not that hard. We're good.
Yeah, it sounds like there's an airplane going to take off there or something.
But yeah. So football has started since we recorded the last episode of this podcast.
What is this? Is this week?
This is going to be week 4.
Week 4.
Yeah.
How many? Are there 18 weeks, right?
7. Well, they play 17 games, but there might be 18
Well, yeah, there's
weeks.
buys in there.
So it's 18 weeks.
Wow, we're almost a fourth of the way in.
But I'm Patriots fan. Patriots doing all right. Your Steelers doing what? 2-1.
Yeah, Steelers are looking all right.
What did I said? Steelers.
What's that?
Is that what did I say? Steelers. Yeah. I forget what I said.
Yes.
Steelers. Yeah.
Yeah, Steelers are looking all right. I think they're 2-1. Titans.
Were they 1-2?
They 1-2, I think.
Who did they beat? They beat someone.
They lost to the Saints and the Browns, and they beat the. I don't know. We'll see. It's still. There are so many people like the Niners are undefeated right now.
Yeah, 3-0, and people are like, oh,
Get your Super Bowl tickets. No.
Yeah, I know. They
It's
do that
week
every year.
3. It's every single year. And the Steelers started out 0-1. They got beat by the Niners. And everyone's like, oh, that's it. Get rid of the quarterback. It's like,
Yeah,
nah,
right.
dude. It's the first week. Chill out.
I remember when the Steelers a few years ago went 11-0. Remember that?
And then they lost
And then
in the first
last,
round.
They lost the last like 5 or 6 games.
Oh, did they miss it that year?
No. I think they went 11 in like 5, or they went 12-4. But they won 11-0, and then they lost most of the last games they played. Then they didn't even make it far in the playoffs.
Well, it's all about how you finish your season. Like, for example, like Florida Panthers, they won the cup. They won the cup last year, right?
No, they lost. I thought
Did they? They lost to Vegas.
Vegas.
But they were the 8th seed on like the last
know.
day, and they went all the way. So
Yeah, they beat.
it's all about how you finish.
Yeah, the Bruins had the best season in NHL history, and then they lose in the first round. That's so bad. I was thinking, I'm a Bruins fan, so I was thinking they're gonna win the cup. Like, all right, great, or at least get to it. They didn't even make it out of the first round, which is ridiculous. But I don't know what that was. But yeah. But
Yeah, I mean, I did a bracket, and I hate the Bruins. And I actually picked them to win. I'm like, I think they're going to win. I think this is their year. And,
Yeah.
It wasn't. But like I told you, everyone who wins the President's Trophy
which
in
is
the
what you get
NHL,
for
which
first
is
place.
Yeah, which is like, the most points in the regular season. They never win the cup. It's just a bad omen.
Yeah.
So I warned you.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
But let's talk about something that bothers me in sports a lot is bandwagon fans. We talk about this a lot.
Yes, we do.
But football has a lot of bandwagon fans. And I hear a lot of people say that. I'm a Patriots fan. I hear a lot of people say that Patriots fans, there's a lot. I've never met or heard of a Patriots fan outside of New England ever. Never. So I don't think New England has any bandwagon fans. Maybe that's because everybody hated them because they were so good for 20 years, But I've never met a outside of New England Patriots fan.
I don't know. If I had to pick,
We know who the most bandwagon
We do.
team is.
it's the Green Bay
It's
Packers.
the Green Bay Packers, yeah.
But I feel like the Packers are up there. I feel like the Steelers are up there.
Really?
I meet a lot of people down here like I'm a Steelers fan. I'm like, oh, are you from Pittsburgh? They're like, no. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Steelers fans, Patriots fans, now Bucks fans, Cowboys,
Cowboys
Niners.
are always bandwagons, yeah.
Just a lot of people are always like they always have some excuse to try to convince you, oh, I'm a real fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Packers fans are just out of the park with that stuff because I know Packers fans are like, oh, like they're from not from Wisconsin, and you'll be like, oh, why are you a Packers fan? And they'll be like, oh, my dad liked Brett Favre. It's like, okay, but that doesn't. Brett Favre played 20 years ago, so like, why do you like? And you're also from a state, like 1,000 miles away from Green Bay. Why are you a Green Bay Packers fan? And then, dude, I had a guy once say, I was like, why are you a Packers fan? And he's like, oh, dude, I used to play Madden, and I used to just play with the best team, which is the Packers. And so that's why I like the Packers. I'm like, that's so stupid.
I mean,
so dumb.
like,
And the Packers aren't even that good either.
I'm from Pittsburgh and I'm a Steelers fan, but like, I'm kind of. I could say the same thing, like, I'm like an OG Titans fan. Because, like, it's always this story, like, back in the day, like, my dad liked it was the Houston Oilers, right? Yeah. Who became the Titans or whatever. And who was the running back they had? Was it Earl Campbell?
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad was a big, Oilers, Earl Campbell fan. And, now I'm a Titans fan because I live down here, but I could be like, oh, I'm an OG Titans fan. It's just
dumb, yeah.
go through the wormhole of all this bullshit. My third cousin, it's just, if you like them, fine. But don't give me a story about, oh, this is why. Just say you like them.
Yeah. Well, I know some people say they'll pick different cities for each sport.
I had a guy for work that was telling me that today. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
He's from Canada. He's like, yeah, I'm an LA Rams fan for football. And he's like, oh, I'm
the Lakers.
yeah, I'm a Detroit Red Wings fan for hockey. I'm a 76ers fan for basketball. And I'm a Braves fan for. Yeah. I'm like, dude. I mean, I guess because he's Canadian, they don't have a lot of options up there. I get it. But it's just
they don't have a Canadian football team. But they got Canadian teams for every other sport.
They do. That's fair. But it's just like, all right, dude. Like,
I mean, I know a guy who said, yeah, I'm a Yankees fan, but I'm also a Cowboys fan, and I like the Titans. It's like, so you're just picking random shit. I'm
a fan of the teams where I'm from. So Pittsburgh and Nashville.
Yeah.
Those are the teams I align with. Obviously, hometown comes first, but a good second is where I'm living now. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's crazy. Too many options nowadays.
Yeah,
you just choose anything you want. No more than that.
I was thinking of being proud of our city. I was thinking of Boston movies, right? Some of the best spots. Some of my favorite movies are Boston movies. I don't think that's a coincidence, really, but. I was thinking of Boston movies. The Departed is one. The Town. The Town is one of my. The Town and The Departed are two of my favorite movies of all time.
Claire.
What's a good Departed quote? Don't laugh.
This ain't reality TV.
No, I like. Sometimes I'll just like be in a situation where I just remember a weird quote.
Just obscure quote from a movie or a TV show.
There's one in The Departed where Jack Nicholson and Leonardo DiCaprio are talking, and the bartender leaves. He's like, Jack, I'm heading out. Or Frank, I'm heading out. And Jack Nicholson goes, all right, I'll see you Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember
That's a good one to use, too. All right, I'll see you at Christmas.
It's like July.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you at Christmas. I don't know why that's such a good line.
It's just because it's just Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, it's so.
I just think it's just how he is as a person is just off the wall,
That's so dumb. What's another good quote? Oh, there's a line in.
There's a lot of good quotes.
Obviously,
In the mosh.
there's a line where they set up cameras and they didn't do a good job. And Mark Wahlberg's like, "Who put the cameras in this place?" And the guy goes, "Oh, who are you?" And he's like, "I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy." That's the best line from the whole movie. That's just such a good line.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. But my favorite line is it's
Get rid of the fucking tank.
That's a good one. But someone asked a question in one of the meetings, and Mark Wahlberg is one of the supporting characters.
That's a good one.
And he's like, I forget. He's like, what did he say? He's like,
Do you know the names of these guys? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
yes. That is the best line because I feel like you can use that in any situation. But I mean, it's an all-star cast in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you got DiCaprio's great. First of all, you got Jack Nicholson. You got
Marky Mark.
You got Matt Damon. Alec Baldwin, R.I.P. Mark Wahlberg. And then who's the girl? She's in a bunch of stuff, but I forget her name.
I don't know her name.
There's a bunch of other people too who are
Martin
in a bunch
Sheen.
of stuff. Yeah, Martin Sheen.
Yeah. There's a lot of other people. There's a good line Alec Baldwin has. I don't know if I can do it right, but he says it so quickly. He's talking to Matt Damon. He's like, "I'm gonna have a smoke. You want to smoke? You don't smoke, right, dear? What do you want to do? Let's finish fix, huh? Go fuck yourself." He says that in like 5 seconds. It's so funny.
He's good. Again, R.I.P. Pour one out.
Are you seeing Rust, by the way? I haven't seen that movie. Is it out?
I heard a lot about it. Not good things though.
Yeah, no. Went off with a bang. You know what I mean? But that's a great movie. Yeah, The Departed, The Town, Good Will Hunting. I haven't seen all of that. That's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and Robin Williams.
You're naming Boston movies right
Boston
now.
movies.
Right?
Patriots Day. That's good.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That's a really good movie.
It's a tearjerker, but it's good.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg's in that again.
Of course.
What other Boston movies are there? I don't know. I can't think of any. But I was trying to think of Pittsburgh movies, and nothing came to mind. Do you know any Pittsburgh movies?
I do know a few. Jack Reacher's one.
Oh, really? Okay.
I didn't see that movie. I saw parts of it. I wasn't too impressed. I saw
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, that was Tom Cruise. It's not the original The Dark Knight, but it's what's the other one? Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah, that's a
Pittsburgh movie. There's a what's that? Oh yeah, Bane. Yeah. There's a really old since we're approaching Halloween, there's a really old horror movie.
Oh yeah.
The original Night of the Living Dead was filmed actually in my hometown. Well, the neighboring town of my hometown. Outside of Pittsburgh. So the original Night of the Living Dead,
that's actually pretty scary.
Really, I've never seen it.
Really? If you watch that alone, I think it was pretty scary.
That was filmed in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
But people come every year around Halloween to that little town and visit it.
There was a house they went in. Do you know if that house is still there?
It might be. I never saw the movie.
Yeah, well, it starts in a graveyard, and then they all get locked in a house.
Okay.
Fight off the zombie horde.
It might have been the same house that's at the graveyard where they filmed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of any other Pittsburgh movies off the top of my head. I'm sure there are some. I know, for whatever reason, Gwyneth Paltrow, who's kind of a weirdo, and Tom Hanks, they always hang out in Pittsburgh. They're always there for some reason. I have no idea why, because nothing's happening, but they're there. But yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
There's been some Adam Sandler movies in Massachusetts. I think Hubie Halloween was in Salem. Did you see that movie? Hubie Halloween.
No.
That was more recent. That was in Salem, Massachusetts.
That'd be cool to go there.
No, I've been there. It's good.
Salem.
Yeah. A lot of good Halloweens, all that witches stuff.
It's a witch hunt.
Yeah, it's a witch hunt.
It's all a witch hunt.
I had a good bar story. I was thinking of today.
Yeah, we were going to start off with this, but we kind of...
I think we talked enough about music today, right?
Are you ready to let it go into the weeds?
Yeah.
For the next, 20 to 40 minutes?
Yeah,
do you
boy,
think?
do like another 25 minutes.
What are we at right
At
now?
50. Right at 50.
We got 50 minutes.
All right. We talked about.
I mean, we could
musical
do
stuff.
40 minutes if we keep it rolling. We'll
We'll see.
we'll just see what happens.
We did talk. Let's talk about. You talked about cars. Let's talk
Yes.
about. Oh.
Oh, what?
Let's do best cars, and then we'll do best concerts.
Oh, yeah, we'll go back into the music for
Yeah.
a dabble.
All right. So let's do best cars first.
Best cars?
Yeah, like your favorite car. If you had to have one dream car, what would you have? Hold on.
What is
we're
oh,
good.
what is that?
Just the screensaver.
What was that? Tom Hanks.
I thought of Saving Private Ryan, but you switch him with Captain Phillips. You put Captain Phillips in World War II. I don't know, like I was trying to think of good bits that would be funny for that, but there's not really any. Every time
I mean, they would just be stupid.
Every time someone gets shot, what was that?
When he's holding his canteen, but you could have him on the boat because, he's just like shaking it. Just switch him. Just switch those roles.
Just the same guy.
Tom Hanks is so good, though. He's timeless. He's one of the best actors of all time, just like DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Anyway,
2 pills.
I was like in the middle of watching this movie. Donnie, get the loot.
What's your favorite movie of all time? I don't mind.
That's tough. I know what yours is, and
Yeah.
The Wolf of Wall Street's up there for me.
Already?
On the podcast?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Well, Wolf of Wall Street's my favorite movie.
Really?
My girlfriend was saying, every guy says the best movie ever is The Godfather. And I'm like, every guy that's seen The Godfather definitely says that. That's like the most cliched answer. It is a very good movie. Definitely up there. Not about my favorite movie. It's very good, though.
I think my favorite might be Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
That's a really good one. It's too hard to pick, though, because there's so many good movies.
Honestly, yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. Honestly, The Town is
Really?
up there, yeah. I like mob movies, too. Goodfellas is up there. Casino.
I wasn't huge on Casino. I might need to watch it again.
It was good. It was like Goodfellas without Ray Liotta.
Yeah, so just a Walmart version of Goodfellas.
It was more Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci played the same character in it, which is good.
I mean,
like Joe Pesci. Oh, did you see Raging Bull?
no, I
That's a good one.
I mean, actors just play the same characters. Like, you always say that that Brad Pitt plays the same character.
Yeah. He does. He always plays like the smug, smart guy. You know?
And, like, so does Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Or,
Well,
like,
yeah.
Jennifer Aniston. It's always the same
Yeah.
roles.
I like that Fight Club. Did you see Fight Club? That was a good one.
I haven't sat down and watched it in all of its entirety, but I've seen, I think, most of it,
That was a good one.
but not in one sitting.
Yeah. What were we saying? Best cars.
You mean like your favorite car you could
yeah,
own?
You could have any car.
I say let's do a classic and let's do a modern.
I don't know if I even know if I have a modern.
Well, I'm going to give you some time to think.
Okay.
So, I don't think I'd ever get a classic car because I seem to be pretty prone to wrecking the cars that I do have. Not anymore, but in the past. Not anymore. Not anymore. But in the past, I have been kind of accident prone, even though it's never my fault. Whatever.
You attract it.
I attract it. But, and classic cars don't have the modern safety features, yada, yada, yada. But I think if I can have any classic car, I would have a, I want to say a,
Keep going.
all right. I want to say a 1969 Chevy Chevelle SS, with, well, like we said, we're trying to have video for the entirety of the episode, and we're fighting with that now, of course. If I could have any classic car, I'm thinking like a 1969, 1970 Chevy Chevelle SS with the what was the engine in that? It was like a 429 big block V8. I don't know exactly. But I think it'd be badass with either have it as black. You get it figured out.
Yeah, we got the first. Yeah, we got the first clip. So
I'll start it back up. No, I think it'd be badass to have it as a nice. Have the base color as black and have red stripes, or nice. Have the most of the body color as red and have black stripes. I don't know which one I'd go for, but I think either combo is kind of cool. And then for a modern car, I have driven a few of the new C8 Corvettes, the ones that look like supercars.
those are nice.
Those are pretty cool. But I don't know. I feel like a Lamborghini. Those are just so cool looking, like the Huracan or the Aventador. But
Those are cool.
those are also like $400,000.
Yeah, oh yeah, probably.
But those, I think that'd be cool to have, just to say you have one.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like the 68 Dodge Charger. That's a good one. That's my
Solid.
favorite. That's probably my favorite car of all time. A lot of good 68 cars. 68 Mustang is good. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. That's a good one. We talked about the 71 Pontiac GTO.
Those are cool.
That's a good one. But modern,
The Judge.
Yeah, the Judge. Modern, I'd say. I like the Ferrari 360 Medina. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, you're not a 458.
Not really.
Really?
I like the F40 though, or the F50. But probably.
I mean, it's a
360
Ferrari.
Medina, yeah. It's a Ferrari. Remember
It's a
that movie?
Ferrari.
Yeah.
Well-
It was. I think it was the Niki Lauda movie.
Oh, no,
Rush.
I don't know that one.
He was a driver, but the guy's like you. The guy's like, you can't. The guy Niki Lauda's like, this is a piece of shit, and he's like, you can't say that. It's a Ferrari. Some Italian nonsense, and
Some nonsense.
and
Some
yeah,
ethnic nonsense.
some ethnic nonsense. Yeah.
Nice.
But and then we were gonna say best concerts. I don't know. I've been to a few good concerts. I saw Kiss a few years ago. They put on a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Generation Axe, which is a bunch of guitarists: Zach Wilde, Nuno Betancourt, Steve Vai, Tosin Abasi, and Yngwie. They all played together.
Damn.
And the most impressive thing from that whole thing was that, they'd have each guy come on. They're already all established artists.
Yeah.
And they'd have each guy come on and play, 6 or 7 songs. Then they all played 5 or 6 songs together at the end.
Oh yeah.
And they had the same bassist and same drummer the whole set.
Dang.
That
They should have showcased the drummer and the bassist.
I know. That was the most impressive part of the whole. That you learn 30, 35 difficult songs.
Yeah.
Like Tosin Abasi, Animals as Leaders. That stuff is ridiculously hard and different time signatures. And so that was the most. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So probably Kiss or Generation Axe was good.
Yeah, my favorite artist is Maroon 5. So I saw
Shiva.
Give me the shiver. I saw Maroon 5 freshman year of college at Bridgestone Stadium. And then Julia Michaels, if you know who
Okay.
that is, opened.
I don't know that.
Yeah, she opened for them.
Nice.
And she's a big songwriter too. So she played a lot of songs that she writ, or
She writ.
that she writ, that she
Look at the song I just writ.
that she wrote. She played a lot of the songs that she wrote. And it was I didn't really know too much about her before then, but it was a good concert. And I did see was it last summer? And that was
summer, we let.
I was gonna do that. But I was going for 7 summers. That was 7 summers ago. But I don't know if it was last summer or not, or 2 summers ago. But I saw a country concert. It was Carly Pierce, Dan and Shay, Old Dominion, and Kenny Chesney. Which Kenny Chesney is another one of my favorite artists.
Yeah,
And his band was nasty as hell. Super nasty. And
Country stuff has good guitar
yeah.
solos.
And Old Dominion was really good too. And a lot of the guys in their bands are also a lot of the guys in that band are also songwriters. So they play a lot of the stuff that they had also written. But no, those are good. Those are fun.
Yeah. We'll go to the bar story. This is a long story.
Do I know this one?
I don't know if you do. Which, it was really good.
Oh.
I don't go out to bars much. Maybe once a month.
I go out every weekend. If I could, I'd be out every weekend.
Yeah.
But I can't
But
afford that.
I only go out maybe once a month to a bar. But every time I do, you always get a memory, you know? You always remember something weird happens. And a lot of stuff happened this time. So I think we had band practice, and then me and the drummer from my band went out with some of his buddies. We went to a local bar, and we get in. It's a smaller bar, and we get in there. We get a table right by the door, and
That's strike one.
yeah, but there's no everything else. It was like you get one table, you get the bar, or then you get the dart tables. That was it.
I know, but like if you're by the door, the whole night, you can't seem to decide whether you're coming or going. That's just a vibe. At least for anyway.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I'm just
I'm
just commenting.
Yeah, but that was like the only table that was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sit down, and then these like older girls, maybe 30 years old, late 20s, 30 years old, are leaving the bar, and they say something to us, and we say something back to them. It's all cordial. It's not weird or anything or aggressive. And then we're talking, and then they go, "Yo, what's the name of this bar?" And we say the name of the bar, and then while we're saying that, the bartender shoots out from behind the bar and is like, get out, right in this girl's face, like, get out now, get out of my bar, get out. And the girl's like, oh, okay, and then they leave, and then we're just like, what the hell was that? We had no idea what they did.
What bar was this?
I don't want to say the name.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But I'm trying to whisper.
Just screaming into the microphone.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a local bar. It was a cool place. But yeah, I guess they didn't seem drunk or anything. But they, he just got right in their face as they were talking to them. We're like, okay, and then we sit down and we're thinking of what to drink, and this Hispanic guy comes up to us. And he's like, yo, what are you guys drinking? And we're like, I don't know, probably just gonna get some Michelob. And he's like, all right. And then he orders us a pitcher of Michelob. It's me and 3 other guys, so it's 4 guys.
All right.
And so we just start drinking this pitcher of Michelob, and he starts talking to us, all right? And I'm getting kind of weirded out because he seems like he's there alone, and he just bought us a pitcher of beer. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's up with this guy, right?
Something fishy's happening.
Something fishy. And then he talks about how he's traveling the world. Like he talks about how he seems like he's been everywhere around the world.
Oh boy!
And don't forget, this is a Wednesday night or Wednesday or Thursday night. This isn't like a Saturday. It's a Wednesday, Thursday night.
It's a Monday. It's a Monday morning. 10 a.m.
Monday morning. And so this is like a Wednesday, Thursday night, and we're talking with him, and yeah, we were talking about soccer, and then we were talking about how he's been like everywhere around the world. He's like, oh, I think he said he was from Seattle or something.
I've been here, I've been there, I've been everywhere. So what?
And then,
so what?
Yeah, and then he asks us our names, then we tell him, and then we go, oh, what's your name? And we're like, what's your name? And he goes, John. And I'm like, all right, obviously.
You had to think about it. But you had to think about it for a second.
The first thing I think is like, obviously, this guy's not named
his
John.
name, I don't know anything about him, but his name's not John.
Yeah, like I've never met a Hispanic guy named John. Maybe
probably like Jorge. Jorge.
Yeah, but it's like it took 2-3 seconds to say his name. It's like, okay, his name's not John. But then he buys us like another pitcher of beer. We're like, all right, we keep talking to him.
Oh my god!
And then he starts. I'm from Massachusetts, and he starts, saying some shit about Massachusetts. Now I'm just like, all right, like I don't really care because I don't really care to talk to this guy. And then
you got the drinks out and we had enough.
Yeah, No, I think he's sober because he's barely drinking. So I don't know like what he's trying to do. You know, like he's not slurring his speech or
Trying to
anything.
finesse you.
And then he's talking about I think he asks us what each of us did, and he's like, as long as you're not an investment banker, you know, you're cool. So he's ripped on Massachusetts and he's ripped on investment banking or something.
What if I'm an investment banker?
Huh?
What if I'm an
No, that's what I said. And then he asked me what I do, and I'm like, oh, I'm an investment banker from Massachusetts.
Oh.
Which is what he just spent the last, that's not what I am.
Yeah,
but
I
just
know.
spent the last 10, 15 minutes ripping against both of those things. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, oh, where do you work? And I'm like, Geodis. Which is
That's not an investment banker.
Which is the name of the soccer stadium a mile down the street in Nashville. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, cool. So I'm like, all right, this guy's just a loser, right?
Just full of shit.
Yeah. And then,
There are so many people that you meet out at bars who are just full of shit.
yeah. And then he's like,
Just
okay.
posers everywhere.
Yeah. This guy, he's also like 45. He's not young. And then he bought us like I had like, 6, 7 drinks that night. I didn't spend anything. So he bought us like 3 pitchers of beer. It was awesome. And he gets us the third pitcher. And then while we're talking, we're all sitting down and he's standing up. And while we're talking to him, he turns around and then very noticeably drops a pill in his mouth.
Oh,
and then
jeez.
turns right around. So he just, like we were talking to him, he just randomly does a 360, drops a pill, and then everybody.
Well,
everyone,
a 180, 360. Just spin back around and right into your face.
That's what he did.
So he was facing you and he spun around and he's facing you again. And he just dropped the pill in his mouth.
He dropped the pill when he was at 180.
Oh.
But he did a 360.
Okay.
Yeah. So he did a full spin, dropped it halfway, and then everybody saw him do it because it was so hard, and then no one knew what to say. And then he handed one of the guys a pill. He just handed him a pill.
Did they take it?
No. He didn't take it. But after a few minutes, he's like, yo, did you take it? Did you take it? And the guy's like, no. He's like, all right, well, go take it. And so the guy went to the bathroom and then came back and said he took it, but he didn't. And then the guy said later it was a pill with shrooms in it, which I've never heard about. I don't know if that was right. But he didn't take it. But the guy handed him, drugs, and they were like, okay, that's weird. And then it just kept getting weirder and weirder. And then this weird girl and her boyfriend or something came up to us. They're like, hey, guys, what's going on? And we're like, yeah, not much. And we said, like, this guy's buying us a bunch of drinks. And then the girl goes, oh, can you buy me a drink? And the guy who's been laughing all night, who's been buying us drinks, just gets serious and goes, no. And she's like, can you buy me a drink? And he's like, no. And then he leaves, never to come back.
Damn.
So in like 10 seconds, this girl got this guy away from us, thankfully. But kind of thankfully, but also not thankfully, because he was buying us pitchers of beer. And
you just get a bunch of people together.
no, I'm not done. I'm not done with the story yet. It gets weird.
Oh,
it gets weirder.
all right.
And
Let's keep her going then.
and so yeah, she's like, after the guy leaves, she's like, yeah, this is me and my husband. And she's like, yeah, we're 20 and 21. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, we just got out of a cult. And I'm like, oh no, this is not going good.
I think I remember this part.
Oh, did I tell you this part?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's like, yeah, we just got out of a cult and everything. And then we after a few minutes, she's like, yeah, so what's everybody's worst trauma?
Yeah, you did tell me.
Yeah. What's everybody's worst trauma? And everyone's just kind of
I know
like,
what part this is now too.
yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. And she's like, oh, well, that's okay. But no, like, seriously, what is it? And everyone's like, dude, like, we don't know. And she's like, all right, well, what's your second worst trauma? And I know she just wanted. I know, like I have a list of traumas, right? And then she's like,
ridiculous.
I know she just wanted me to ask, oh, well, what's yours?
And then she was just going like a 30-minute spiel.
Yeah.
And then she'd be like, and that's why I can't wear flip-flops in the shower.
Something like
there
that.
There would be some excuse right at the end to be like, all right, dude, great.
Yeah. I know. And
thanks for sharing.
Yeah, and so we got and then we left, and I made it home, thankfully.
I was just talking to a guy today. I don't want to cut your story off abruptly, but
that was the end of the story.
There have been some nights on Broadway where I didn't think I was
on Broadway.
Where I didn't think I was going to make it home. you stumble out of a bar alone and your vision's just blurred. You can't see anything.
Trying to call an Uber.
The Uber has to like come find you, you know?
Yeah, right. Where are you? I can't find you.
I'm like, man, I don't know where I'm at. I can't see you. And he's like, I see you right there. You wearing this? I'm like, oh, that's me.
You see me? He's waving from inside his car with the windshield. You can't see anything.
The first for me, once I start drinking.
Can you just talk for a few minutes?
Oh, all right. Well, I might need to take a little pee break too.
Right, well, I'll sub in. I'll tag out.
Well, we're gonna tag team this podcast. Gonna keep her going for, I don't know. We'll see how many more minutes we want to keep going. But no. Gonna go ahead and preface this. My mom will hate me for telling these stories, but yeah, there have been some nights on Broadway, not in a while, but there'll be some nights on Broadway where I get out of a bar and all your buddies are gone because you lost them through the night and you're the last one standing, you know, and you get out and you're just absolutely smashed and you can't see anything. And you're just trying to look for the Uber because like they have like the little color they'll put up that like matches your app or whatever. Or like they'll send you the color and you're looking, everything's blurry. And I already have contacts in or glasses, so everything's already blurry at night. And you're just trying to find this guy, this beacon, this you know, the one who's going to be delivering you safely to your house. Well, you hope will be delivering you safely to your house. And you're just praying you can't find him. And it's like a half-hour process and it's just horrible. And it's like, when I'm sober, I'm like, oh, like, you know, so-and-so got like mugged or whatever. I'm like, well, that's their fault for being a dumbass. But then I'm like, I've done some really stupid shit like that. And I'm surprised I haven't been beat up or mugged or anything. But, yeah, pretty crazy. And then, you know, Thomas has got these crazy bar stories. And, my bar stories are pretty much just like you go downtown with some buddies, you pregame, you say you're not going to be drinking that much downtown, and then before you know it, you spend about $100 and you're shit-faced and you're just out of control. And the night either ends, well, for me, the nights either end with me yakking, being an Uber praying you don't yak, or you muster up enough courage to talk to a girl, you have a good time, you get her number, and you wake up to being ghosted.
Ghosted.
That's how the nights usually go on Broadway.
That's good stuff.
But it's fun until you wake up the next morning, you look at your bank account, you look at your messages, you know, you're hitting up people from like 5 years ago. There's no response. Crickets.
The calls you made.
Oh, dude, the voicemails. Yeah, you get a girl's number, and you either wake up and you haven't heard anything from her, or you have heard something. I had such a good night. And you look at Instagram, and you're like, oh, God, no. Who is this girl, you know? But, hey, it's all part of being young and having fun. And it's, I think one of the best things I've learned is that it's always fun till it isn't.
That's good.
And with that, I'm going to go, hit the restroom.
The old step on the...
The old step on the cord.
Yeah.
The cord.
I've been in many Ubers, not many, but a few Ubers where I felt like yakking in the back seat. Please don't take that turn so fast. Please don't. Please don't. You got to roll down the window just in case. And I heard it's like a $100 charge if you do, which makes sense because that'd be a lot of cleanup. But I know people who have yacked in an Uber, but I never have, thankfully. I've never really been close to that. That's a bad spot. But yeah. Yeah. I don't go down to Broadway much because it costs a lot of money. I don't know if Gabe talked about this, but it costs a lot of money. You know, it's very loud. And I usually like to sit in a bar and just kind of hang out. I don't really like to bar hop. So Broadway isn't really my scene. Midtown's all right, you know, because there's a few bars there. It's not too loud. There's not too many tourists there, and you can kind of, you know, sit there and just do something else. I like to go to bars that have other stuff you can do there's a bar I went to, me and Gabe went to recently. I think it was last week. You can drink, but you also have pool there. You have video golf, which I love. I could do that all day. And then they had ping pong there. They have darts, and they have a shuffleboard game, and that's a lot of fun. I really like to it's hard to just sit there and drink, not do anything else without feeling like a degenerate. Which is why we do the podcast while we drink. Instead of just drinking, we just do the podcast while we drink. So we're getting something productive while being unproductive. But it's hard to know when going out isn't good. I mean, I'm young. I'm 23, so I think going out to a bar every now and then with my friends isn't that bad. I'm not sure how much longer I can do it for before it gets a little concerning. But I don't think I do it enough now where it's a problem. I really do it as much as I want to. I go out to a bar maybe once a month, and I don't really feel a desire to go out more than that. But yeah, I mean, I could, but it's fun with it. You want to get a different group every time. You have starters you go with, but maybe you want a different bench every other time, and you want to keep the rotation a little alternating. But yeah, he's back. I was running out of stuff to say.
He's back. What were you talking about?
I was talking about how I like to go out to bars. I was saying I don't go out to bars too often, but I'll go out to bars now. You can go out to bars now when you're 23, 24 and not feel guilty. But when you're 30, 35, it's like, all right, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. Like, again, even going out once in a while when you're 30s, 40s, or even whenever age isn't bad. But you don't want to be doing it.
It depends what you're doing when you're there.
If you're just hanging out with a bunch of buddies, that's cool. But I don't know if I see myself getting drunk past 30,
If you're still getting, drunk in your 30s, it's like... You got to grow up a little bit,
Getting a little buzz on's all right, or maybe like once a few times a year with your friends.
Yeah,
but if you just get drunk, I don't really get drunk alone, anyways. But if you just drink alone, that's not really good. It's nice to
I drink alone. Yeah, with nobody else.
I was listening to one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. It's a good one. When I was on the way to meet you and your roommate. I was listening to that song. One bourbon,
one scotch, one beer.
That should be a podcast
it's a good
drink
title.
we have. Oh, what are we doing for the podcast? I'm drinking a Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Since we just had the first day of fall a few days ago, I figured I'd go for some Angry Orchard, some hard cider.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, just to mix it up. I've been drinking Coors all summer, so want something with a little bit more flavor than
those
that.
aluminum cans. They'll get you.
I only do bottles if I have a choice.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what I prefer. I may prefer cans over bottles, to be honest.
Well, the cans they have Alzheimer's in them.
That's true.
Aluminum, yeah.
The aluminum.
Allegedly, who knows? But it's just going out to a bar. It's just more. It's more festive.
It is. It's a good time.
Like I know, like you got a girlfriend or whatever. I mean, I'm single, so it's always kind of nice to go out and see some
biddies,
some females. Again, I'm not going to approach them unless I'm hammered.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to pick up a girl in a bar. I don't know
tough.
what to use. Like, hey, can I buy you a drink? Like, is that how you would start it? I don't even know.
We usually work. So if I go down to Broadway, my strategy is just get pretty drunk and then just start dancing like an idiot and see what girls into it.
Girls like confidence like that, I think. That's a good strategy.
And if you start dancing like an idiot, like the last time I was down, this is a while ago, but I was dancing like an asshole and this girl like put her hand out, and I was like spinning her around and we were both pretty drunk. We were like spilling our drinks and shit. It was just sloppy, but yeah, it led to a night of
girls like dancing too.
Yeah, that's my strategy. But like if you're like a chiller bar, it can't be too loud, but it can't be too quiet.
Also,
It's tough. It's tough out there.
aside from Broadway, I very rarely see girls that you can tell are single at chill bars. They don't go to bars, you know.
Well, the thing about Broadway is that it's hard to find a local. I would just got lucky, luck of the draw.
How lucky did you get?
Not lucky enough.
Oh.
But,
Yeah.
there's different levels.
She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get lucky.
It's
It's the legend of the Phoenix. Son of the beginnings.
A gift that keeps on
We've
giving.
come too far. I can't sing because
To
I've been drinking beer.
convert who we are
So let's raise the bar.
and our cups to the stars.
She's up all night. What did he say? She's up all night for good fun. She's up all night to get some.
I'm up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get. I don't know.
She's up all night to the sun. She's up all night.
Forget
run.
one.
I don't know what he said.
Run.
Run. Was that from nothing?
No, just making stuff up.
That's got to become a movie. Run.
Run.
There was a Nicolas Cage movie, World Trade Center. It's about 9/11. He goes, they were in the South Tower. Oh, they're in the North Tower, and the South Tower collapsed. He goes, run the elevator shaft. Maybe that's from that, I'm thinking.
Just making stuff up now.
No, that's definitely hidden many
I'm sure it's in
movies.
somewhere.
Run. Yeah. I haven't seen, have you seen Castaway? I haven't seen that. Tom Hanks. Yeah. I haven't seen Forrest Gump either. I really have no desire to watch that, to be honest.
Never seen Forrest Gump.
Correct.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Jenna, you want to give me AIDS, Jenna?
Is that what happens?
Yeah, he gets something, he dies. Well, no.
I saw it.
She dies, but he still gets whatever it was. All right, P. Jenny.
Simp. Forrest Gump's a simp.
Everyone's always talking about simping, but I'm at the point where I'm just, I'll simp for a little bit of attention.
All right.
Honestly, dude, like just drive around the city all day.
Hey, you doing anything? All right.
Yeah.
Had a Corona Rita. You and me went out the other
Did
day
you
with
have?
some friends. Like a few months ago, we had a Corona Rita at the Mexican place down the street.
Oh, God.
It was a Corona in a margarita. It was really good. That was a bad night. Then we went to that place down the street.
That was in
the
June.
other place down the street. That was in June.
Because that was after
Wow.
my night I just talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Dance like an
That was
asshole. I was on like a
June,
4-day
damn.
bender. That was awesome. That was the most fun I've had since. What do you do for fun? Oh, I go out and drink.
Benders. You know, you work hard, but you play hard.
You got to work hard and play harder.
Or you just play hard and then you just don't
Or
work.
you just play
You
hard and
work-
not work.
You work like a loser and then you barely work and then you play hard.
Honestly, lately, I've been just not working really and not playing at all. Yeah, it's great.
Well, that's not bad either because you feel productive, I think, you know. But, yeah, we had a friend who, we were hitting up a friend to hang out and he's like, sorry, I'm getting off a 5-day bender. Remember that?
Yeah, I
might have just
remember
said
that.
his name. But yeah, we called him to hang out and he texts. He's like, yeah, I just got off a 5-day bender. Sorry, I'm out.
I mean, he goes hard. And he does listen to this podcast. So that's good.
Oh, shout out to the him.
Well, shout out.
to the Bender man.
Bender man. Yeah, he's I haven't seen him in a minute, but other than that, sorry, I just got out of rehab.
Sorry, I'm in rehab right now. I can't talk. I shouldn't even be texting you. See you.
Let's get drinks when I get out though. You got a friend in rehab who's making plans to go out when he gets out.
I'll get a cranberry juice. Wink, wink. It's a natural diuretic.
Just add a splash of vodka in there. and then the splash turns into 3 shots.
A splash of vodka and a cranberry juice turns into a whiff of cranberry juice and a vodka.
Yeah.
Vodka triple.
A splash of a triple vodka shot and a
with a whiff
splash with some ice cubes and a splash of cranberry juice.
1 drop of cran apple.
Oh, this is like a little drop of Mio. Oh shit.
Yeah, that meal was actually pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I had that with vodka. Oh man, that was good.
Speaking about drinking, I'm gonna go ahead and interrupt. I don't know if you want to share this, but when is the last time you've puked in the puke
I'm not gonna
sagas?
share that.
Come on.
Too soon. I was supposed to say.
Oh,
Too soon.
jeez. It's been over a year for me, so I'm proud.
It's good stuff. I'm proud of you. Yeah. I don't think I can say the same.
Yeah, I was doing pretty well before that too, but I had some family in town. It was my cousin's 21st. She's like, you gotta do this. And the next thing you know, I'm in the Uber praying. And I
Please
get
don't
it.
make that turn.
Please
Don't make a turn.
It feels like he's flying. I mean, he's not, but it feels like he's zooming.
I need some fresh air, please.
And I get out of my at my apartment complex, I get out of my Uber. I'm like, oh, thanks, have a good night, and just. I'm just like laying like in the fetal position in like the grass by like where they park their cars, like the parking lot, just yakking for like a half hour. And I finally get up and collect myself and go back to my apartment. And my roommate had been out with me the night before. And he's passed out like on the toilet, like when he was, like his head's just dangling in like the toilet bowl. And he's passed out. It's like 3 a.m,
Yeah, I remember.
So bad.
I came over your house at like 4 p.m. one day to go to the pool. And I saw there was some puke in the driveway.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, jokingly, I said, oh, is that your roommate? And you were like, yeah.
I remember that.
Your roommate?
Yeah, I remember that. Hey, we've had some rough nights.
There was one time, oh, dude, this is after a cookout night. I was in the car with a bunch of people I don't usually hang out with, but I just happened to go home with them.
You just happened to be lucky enough to get that free Uber ride.
Yeah, so I was trying to like be cool in front of them, but I had to vomit really bad. And so we get out of the car and I walk like 20 feet and they go ahead and I'm like, no, you go ahead. And then I just go blah, into one of those ground lights.
I thought I was there for that.
Chick-fil-A.
I thought I was there for that.
I don't think so. But I just puked into a light. It was so funny. And then I just walked home. But I kept like 40 feet behind me and them. So they were like looking back, making sure I was okay. So stupid. But then I was in a car with, I think, you and your roommate. And I wasn't feeling well, but I wasn't going to puke or anything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, kind of leaning up against the door of the car.
Oh,
and your roommate goes, oh, he's going to puke. And the roommate does like a Tokyo drift into a parking position.
The roommate doesn't.
He's
like the Uber driver.
Oh, he's the Uber driver. The Uber driver does like some insane turn into a parking spot. And he's like, oh, you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And we just go home. But they're serious about not puking in the car.
I don't blame them.
I don't blame
them.
But
yeah, I was with my roommate.
Yeah.
And we had gone pretty hard that night. And he's like, he gets in the Uber. He's like, I'm not going to puke, And then next thing you know, he's leaning up against the door. He's like, I think I'm going to puke. And the Uber driver slams on the brakes. And he's just yakking, just
out of the car. Open the door.
Open the door.
That's good.
Yeah, man. So many puke stories, dude.
One time I was driving with my roommate. I was in the passenger seat and we were driving. We were about to get on the highway. This is after a long night. We were about to get on the highway.
Which roommate? 1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
But yeah, we were about to get on the highway. And
you got that bottle opener over there?
Yeah. All right. We're about to get on the highway, and I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait because I can't puke in his car. Like that would suck. So I was like, just pull over. On the side of the highway, people are driving past me. And then I'm good. And then you feel good. You're like, all right.
I would rather.
It's good just to puke once and then.
No, I'd rather be hungover than be puking. Honestly.
Well, sometimes it's the same thing. And once you puke, you're good.
I know, but a lot of people are like, oh, if I puke, I won't be hungover. I'd rather be hungover. Whatever, it's all right.
It's good if you puke the night before. Because I feel like if you puke the night before, you won't be sick the next day.
That's true. When I first started drinking heavily, like in senior year of high school, when I first started drinking heavily, it was
It was bad.
it was it was just like you'd wake up the next day and feel terrible.
You gotta go to school at 8.
Well, like it'd be like on a weekend, but still, like you just wake up and just be. I would like would be like in bed all day. But yeah, I was never
feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah, I was never like that in college, really. But,
Yeah. I was thinking of funny taglines they say to not get you to drive drunk. It's like, drive sober, get pulled over.
I had a good one. I shared this about a month ago with you. Driving buzz. Yeah, what was it? No. Yeah. Driving buzz. Wish I was.
That's good. Or
That's a good one.
you'll be swerving with bourbon. That's a good one.
Swerve with bourbon.
Getting risky with whiskey. That's a good one. I like the click it or get a ticket. That's so dumb.
Click it or ticket.
You wish driving buzzed? Wish I was.
I thought of that the one day. Driving up to your place
Nice.
before we did some drinking. It was some, I was premeditating.
That's good.
Yeah, no, don't drive.
Yeah.
Don't drive drunk. It's not worth it. Not worth it. I mean, whatever. If you don't get caught, you don't get caught.
I never got that. It's like, I won't mind spending $15 on an Uber to get home. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can't lie and say I haven't had nights where I shouldn't have driven.
I don't think everyone has.
I think that's just a part of growing up.
Yeah. You do it and then you're like, all right, don't do that again. And then it probably wasn't as bad as you thought anyway. But, getting an Uber it never seems like a bad idea.
I mean, it usually does seem like a bad idea because it's like, oh, I gotta wait for this guy, and
You gotta leave your car.
You gotta leave your car somewhere to get to come
honestly,
back. And
that's the whole thing. I don't care about $15. That's fine. Leaving the car in some stranger's place that's the weird.
Because then
part.
you got to come back and get it.
You got an Uber back.
You got to Uber back, and it's just that's the biggest thing for me. So if I know I'm going to be drinking, I'm going to Uber.
Yeah.
Like heavily. But
Uber
if I
heavily.
Yeah.
I'm an Uber heavily.
If I know I'm going to be drinking heavily, I'm just going to Uber. But if I go to like a buddy's place or whatever and I end up drinking heavily, it's either stay over or stay up until you sober up. Because I'm not Ubering and then coming back to get my car, doing the old walk of shame.
I'm just here to get my car.
Yeah. That's like, for me, that's the worst feeling. Waking up, like you go to a party someplace and you wake up in the morning there.
Oh.
And you didn't do anything like bad or like.
What do you think you may have?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
I've had a few nights like that in the last year or so. But no, you wake up and you're just like, oh, you're still there. It's 7 a.m. The sun's up, and you gotta drive home. And you feel like shit, and the night's still you're still kind of piecing it together, and you gotta spend the next 12 hours texting people, being like, "Hey, what did I do last night?" And you wake up and you get a text. I'm really unpleased with the way you conducted yourself. You're like, oh, no.
It's like a principal's email. Oh my gosh.
Why would you do that? You know, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, oh, God. Or even worse is the phone call. I think we need to have a phone call.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
Dude, one time my mom, I was working on, is this still recording?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I can check. But
Yeah, I think.
Well, I've thought a lot of things.
But I was working on a song for trumpet with my teacher, and the name of the song was called Disorderly Conduct. And so my trumpet teacher sent my mom or me. I think he sent my mom the sheet music for Disorderly Conduct.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "What is this? This Disorderly Conduct?" And I'm like, "That's just a song." She's like, "Oh, okay." She thought like I got in trouble for disorderly conduct at school. Oh, that was funny.
That's hilarious.
What is this?
That's also the most jazz song.
Disorderly
name.
Conduct.
Disorderly Conduct. That's so jazz.
Miles Davis has a song called Stuff. That's a good
Stuff.
one. Stuff.
That's good. It's good. What is this? What kind of shit you been getting into?
What the hell?
Oh, it's just a song.
Dude, I look back on some of the things I got in trouble for in elementary school, grammar school.
Ridiculous.
It's like, this is so dumb. One time I wrote on a kid's folder, the teacher said it was similar to vandalism. Can you believe that?
Well, that's Massachusetts for you.
Yeah. But like he's like
You
"I think
vandal."
This is like vandalism. It's like, what? Writing on a paper folder is
Bro,
vandalism?
shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I know. That was dumb.
Yeah, did you ever get called to the principal's office?
Oh yeah, dude. I got called to the principal like 3-4 times a year.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
One time there was this girl who was always picking at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had those girls. And then one time we were in art class and she painted on my face. And I was like, this is why. This is third grade.
Oh, no.
Third grade. So I
He's
was like
getting up on a
9
soapbox.
I was like 9 years old.
Oh,
right?
no.
And I was like, this is why I hate women. Jokingly.
Oh.
Jokingly, though.
Oh.
Jokingly.
Oh.
And then the teacher's like, go to the principal's office. I'm like, all right, whatever. But it was like a joke between me and the girl.
9
because-
years old. This
Yeah.
is why I hate women.
No, but it was like she'd say something against me and being boys, and then you'd say something against them being girls.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
You're like friends, kind of. You kind of like this
Nah,
running joke.
It was like, oh, you make fun of boys, I'll
okay.
make fun of girls. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it was
yeah.
like. So it was like that, and then she didn't care that she painted on my face. She took a brush and painted it on my face. She just told me to go to the principal's office. I was like, all right. And then
You're going to feed with paint on your face.
yeah, literally, I know. And then I don't even remember the other times. There was one time like, the teacher was like, yeah, clean up these soccer balls. And then me and a bunch of kids kicked the balls instead. And we got detention for that. It's so dumb. But there was a lot of times I got sent to the principal's office, but I don't remember exactly why. That was the first time I think I got sent to the principal's
Okay.
office. And I remember I would my mom, after I'd go to the principal's office and then school would end and then my mom would pick me up and she'd be like, how was school today? I was like, I got sent to the principal's office. She's like, I knew something was going to happen today. I knew it. I was like, no, you didn't,
That's the most mom reaction. I knew it.
I knew it.
This time I knew it. I could tell. I knew that.
In a bad morning.
Like nothing happened. Though she can have a perfect morning. And as soon as you say I got in trouble, I knew it. This was the time. I could feel it.
Well, it was always like
All right.
the teachers were like, go to the principal's office. And they were so mad. And the principal would be like, so what'd you do? And I was like, oh, I did this. They're like, well, just don't do that again. All right. And then you'd go back to class. It was so dumb.
Well, I remember I got two core memories. I remember the first time I got in trouble in school was kindergarten. And did you ever have to like pull sticks or take a card? Was that like the form of punishment?
No, I had the green light, yellow light, red light thing.
Yeah, it was just some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Some bullshit. But I remember some kid pulled a stick for like being loud or something.
What do you mean
like,
pull a stick? Explain that.
I think that it was like the red light, green light thing as well. Like you had like
You start on neutral and then you move up.
it was like the stick was like a tongue depressor they had painted or something stupid. And you had like a green one, a yellow one, and a red one. And like when you left at the end of the day, thinking back on this stuff is so stupid. Such a just
You think
dumb.
it's such a huge deal.
Yeah.
Literally
And you look back and
nothing.
you're like, if that was me now,
If I could go back to my second grade,
if I
I'd
go
be
back
like,
to If I go back to kindergarten, I'd be like, fuck you all, you know, something stupid like that. Yeah, sure you would. But I remember the kid's name too. Shout out Devin. I don't even know him anymore. Don't know what happened to him.
He's dead.
He's probably shooting up somewhere. He just got electrocuted. Hey,
He's a DJ.
He's a DJ. God, but whatever. He was like being loud or something.
Dude, the most thing you got in trouble for was talking. Literally, I was like, I'm talking. Oh, what did he do?
Dude. This is kind of skipping around, but when you were eating lunch in the cafeteria, you always had the lunch ladies, right?
What?
Lunch ladies.
Yeah.
Did they ever go and flick the lights on and off? Be like, shut up.
No, they do that in class, though, sometimes. Well, they always did They do the... And then you had to repeat that.
Oh.
That's how they got us to be quiet.
Did they ever do when you had like a guest speaker, do the round of applause? You you clap your hands in a circle.
No.
Watch this bullshit. We would
check this shit out.
Check this shit out. Yeah. They would have. And again, it's a common thing. The more we keep drinking, it just gets more ridiculous. But at my one school, they'd be like, the school is called Evans City. And they'd be like, all right, show our guests the Evans City round of applause. And it'd be like
after
this.
After they talk?
Yeah, or before or after, it'd be like this.
That's so stupid. How old are you?
Be clapping in a circle like middle school.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Anyway, back to the original story.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, he got in trouble for talking or something stupid. And he came back to the table, and he had pulled a yellow stick, and he was like crying.
Yeah.
And me, I think I told you this before, did I?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe not. But like me, I'm like in kindergarten. But even then, I know it's stupid for this guy to be crying over pulling a stick. And I was like, I said something. I'm like, you're just being a crybaby or something stupid, you know?
Red stick.
Yes. And I got called up. What did you say? And he started crying more. And my teacher's like, what did you say to him? I told me that. And I got to go up and pull a stick. And I'm like, this is fucking
Wait, so I don't understand the stick. Like, she held a bunch of, like, sticks, and then you had to pick one?
It was like you'd, like, flip your stick over or something. And it went from, like, green to yellow to red. And you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, we had that with popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
On it.
Okay. Like, I said, like, a tongue depressor, but I guess
I didn't know what you meant by that. Tongue depressor.
A popsicle stick. Same.
Yeah, but you started in like the white area, and then you went to the green.
Yeah.
And the green was like, okay, whoa. And then,
chill out, bro.
And then yellow was you missed 15 minutes.
Oh, it took away part of your recess.
You missed recess, and you have to write a paragraph on what you did wrong. That was yellow.
I really messed
and then red
up.
was you die, basically.
Yeah.
I think I only got red once, and that was bad. That was a bad day. That was, yeah. I think I only got red once. And I remember my teacher, oh my gosh. I don't want to give away what teacher I had, but my teacher had these sheets with blanks on it. And if you did something really good, she'd say, wow.
Wow.
And then you'd write, wow. And then you could fill out those sheets and you could turn them in. And my mom was like, you might have had something similar. My mom was like, if you fill up one of these sheets, we get to go to Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. Which I was thinking about today.
Dude.
Chuck E. Cheese.
No, Chuck E. Cheese, bro. No, man, dap me up, bro. Yeah.
Charles E. Cheese.
Charles E. Cheddar.
But dude, that was like, I got a red light. Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
That's stupid.
I understood my dad. My dad didn't say anything because he probably didn't care, you know? But elementary school.
Your mom always seems to care more about you getting in trouble, and your dad's like, whatever, dude.
Your dad was always the person they call in for backup if you're being really bad.
Yeah.
I remember if I wasn't getting ready for school one day back in, elementary school.
I'm going to get your dad in here.
My mom would be like, I'm going to call your dad. I'm like, no. no. And then she'd call my dad, and he'd be like, Thomas, what are you doing? I'm trying to get ready for school. He's like, you better get ready.
Well, the best part was that my dad was always working shift work because you know what he did.
Yeah.
But so he wouldn't be there, so it was just my mom trying to deal with two boys.
My mom would call my dad.
Well, my dad, like, sometimes, I'm sure he wouldn't answer.
Yeah.
My mom's like, damn it.
I'm going to call your dad.
Dealing with two boys.
Hey, this is
Yeah. Oh, my God. But anyway.
A message for your dad?
Oh, Dad, Mom's being mean to me. Yeah, some bullshit. No. Give me the phone. Anyway.
But I was thinking today about Chuck E. Cheese. I remember back in the good old days. This is like 2007. One quarter was one gameplay.
Oh man!
So you could put in $10 and you get, what is that?
It's like 40 games.
That's 40 games, right? Yeah. You get 40 games. That's like an hour.
Yeah.
$10 for an hour. You get $20. That's 2 hours.
Not anymore.
I know. You get 2 hours of gameplay for $20. That's pretty good. And I remember when they started to change that, I was like, a thing is too expensive, or if it's a scam, if they give you a card, and then you have to swipe the card.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It got ridiculous because
that's when it went all downhill.
No, I remember like middle school, it started being like $1 a game. Like, this is ridiculous, and then you play for 30 seconds. Like that is so ridiculous.
Again, I mean that's not bad. 30 seconds, we'll take it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean $1 for one game, that's so dumb. And then I was thinking about amusement parks. I went to Universal in 2018, so 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Half the rides had a screen. I was like, does everything have to have a screen now? You go from you go to an amusement park to get away from stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't want to, like, most of the rides where you sit in like a little cart and then you look at a screen and you kind of bounce around a little bit. Yeah. It's like, I go to an amusement park to be outside, go on a roller coaster and feel the wind, not be inside and look at a screen. If I want to do that, I can go in my hotel room and watch TV. So like, I don't like having screens with everything. And then that's what these new video games are. They're not as fun because honestly they're not as violent. The fun games.
Well, we know who to blame for that.
Well, the fun games are like the shooting games, right? Those are fun. Yeah. You ever played Time Crisis or anything? That was a good shooting game. But now it's all just like wicked computer graphics and everything. It's like, that's cool, but I don't want to get too involved. The older games are way more fun.
How did we get on that? That kind of came out of nowhere.
How did we get on Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh, yeah, school being good and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the wows. You'd stand up really quick. Wow. Like, stupid. I tried so hard, and then they'd be like, never. That thing filled out a sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of screens nowadays. It's too much sometimes, but
yeah. Or even like if you go to a sporting event, they got a screen. I don't want to hear music. There'll be a dead ball at a basketball game. There'll be a dead ball for 2 seconds. They got to fill that space with a song. It's like
I'm okay with that.
It's like you can let 2 seconds go by without putting a song in there.
Well, but I feel like a lot of times, like, you don't know if it's going to be 2 seconds until it's 2 seconds.
Yeah, but even it's like you can have some silence every now and then, or like no noise. Oh, dude, where was I today? Oh, I was at work working an event, and they had it was a show for a country guy, and it was before he went on, so they had stage music playing, like some country music, and then they also had the bars music playing at the same time, different, and it was. It was like
overlapping.
Yeah, totally different songs, and it was really hard to focus. And then me and my girlfriend go to this place sometimes, the cafe, and the cafe plays the shittiest opera music from like the 40s or something.
Oh my goodness!
And then
why?
The other bars play country music, so they're overlapping too. and it's just so off.
It's just a horrible sound.
Yeah, it's a horrible ambiance. You know, it's terrible.
Yeah,
Bad.
Yeah, everyone's just so used to being stimulated by everything that you have to have like constant stimulation.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I wouldn't mind just going out and laying under the stars one night, you know, just hanging out.
It'd be cool to have a day where like everybody just, except for essential things, but like everybody just kind of like powered down, you know? Like it would be cool if like a whole city turned off the lights and you could see the sky for what it like
but
looks like.
That would just be a day filled with crime. There'd be so much crime.
That's a good point. But like I heard things like the sky used to be so much more vibrant and colorful than it is now, and then you just look up, it's just black.
Ooh, have you seen that the SpaceX Starlink thing? You heard about that?
No.
So, you know, Daddy Elon Musk,
Mr. Musk.
He launched like, I don't even know how many there were, but he launched like a bunch of satellites for like this thing called Starlink, and it's supposed to be I think it's for like internet reception or internet connectivity, and it's
Like satellites, kind of.
I mean they are satellites, but it's supposed to be like satellites for internet service. And I think it's supposed to switch over to mobile phones at some point. But he launched like at least, I want to say 10 to 30 satellites.
Wow.
And they're all connected. And you can see them through the night sky every 90 minutes. And it's just like a train.
Yeah.
Like just like a line of light.
I don't like that.
And you're thinking, that's a private citizen who's doing that.
Yeah.
Think about how it's going to be in 30 years from now. There's going to be so much bullshit up there flying around.
One thing that really scared me was this happened.
And I just saw Interstellar too, so now I'm really thinking about it.
This came out a few years ago, so I don't think it's too much to worry about. But I saw a thing where companies were trying to put ads in the sky. Have you seen that? And I was like, if that happens, that's one of the that is so awful.
They'd have her like reflecting over the moon or something.
Yeah,
You know?
or just in the sky, you just see like Coca-Cola. Can you imagine?
They have those planes, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
You can't even look up in the sky at nighttime and just not be, attacked with advertising.
I think the suicide rates would skyrocket.
Yeah, I don't know, but
that's every movie though. If something bad's happening, you gotta look up to the sky, and you look up and you see, GoDaddy.com.
Yeah,
you're gonna fucking hang yourself,
dude. That would make me honestly so depressed.
It'd be horrible.
You can't escape it because you feel like you can't escape it. I feel like that would make everybody hate the company too, because nobody would like that.
You just need to leave stuff alone.
Yeah.
Like
the fact that you
once you start taking over the sky.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No, that's too much.
Yeah.
It's just not going to end well.
Yeah.
But we're closing in on like 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we should probably
wrap it up.
Yeah.
I know we just kind of went on a tangent there for about an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it was turning into like a Joe Rogan podcast. We're taking like
4 hours. Yeah, it's longer every podcast.
It does. We're taking like a pee break in between. It's bad. But no, we're thinking every fourth episode we're gonna have a guest on. Which
next episode we got happy
audio is going to be
interesting
to say the least. But we're going to try to have a guest on every fourth podcast, kind of spiced up, and we're going to try to keep it music based. So hopefully, someone we know who's also into music or who's working in the industry, the field in some capacity. But yeah, again, we appreciate everyone for tuning into episode 3. And again, it does seem to get longer every podcast. And I'm sure these I think these third podcasts will probably be just a little bit longer in general, just because it's not going to be the same. I'm assuming it's not going to be the same buffoonery,
jokes, yeah.
the same buffoonery when we have an actual guest on. It's going to be more geared towards them and what they have to say instead of us just rambling for hours. But we're excited for next episode. No idea where we'll be filming it.
Yeah.
We have about
location, obviously, but
we are. We have about 3 different locations on rotation.
Yeah.
I almost said on retainer, but no. We'll see. But yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. I'm Thomas.
Yeah. My name's Gabe. And yeah. Thanks for tuning in as always. We should have audio.
Yeah.
On this one.
We do.
Hopefully we have video as well. I mean, obviously we'll have audio, but hopefully we have video as well. Yeah. We should, but you never know how things shake out. But
thanks for tuning in to the 3rd episode of The Worst Idea Ever.
3rd episode. Thanks so much.
All right,
Peace.
Have a good one.